Hello everyone, Professor Thompson here. It is February 27th, and this is some last minute information for my Spring 2019 Net 11 course. So a couple key points I just want to reemphasize. Unit 1 is coming to a close on Friday, which would be March 1st. An important element of that deadline is that your speech is due to be uploaded into GoReact by 11:30 p.m. and the unit number 1 altogether, all content, all quizzes, all chapters, all discussion board postings are due by midnight. So make sure that you are getting all of that work done in a timely manner. One of the things that I had noticed is that really only about half of you are progressing kind of adequately in the course. There are several of you that have let yourself kind of fall behind as we are approaching the first deadline. So it is important that you really put forth a last minute push to get all of your content in Unit 1 complete. There is no shortcuts, and quite frankly, one thing you should know is there is no extensions. You've had, 5 weeks to get essentially a short number of assignments, in my opinion, complete. So it is important that over this span that you have all of that stuff done. No extensions. Deadline is Friday. Get it done. Make sure that as you are completing the coursework that you have all of your responses to your classmates for certain discussion board postings. In all of those discussion boards, I've clearly indicated that you may or may not have responses to your classmates that are needed. There was an email or two about the chapter quizzes and modules, as I call them. I posted a video that is in Blackboard covering modules and chapters, but the philosophy is you read the chapter, you do the practice questions for the chapter, and those practice questions will help you on your quiz, and then you actually go in and take the quiz for the chapter. So each chapter is a 3-step process between read, practice, assess. All right. Finally, I want to really speak to the presentation or the speech. I would really emphasize to keep it simple. Do not try and cover too much. This is a 5 to 7 minute speech. This is not a 9 or 10 minute speech, so please do not submit something like that. The simpler, the better. I don't need some huge topic. It could be very, very, very simple. And organize your topic well. The success on the first speech is linked to your ability to read Chapter 10 and apply Chapter 10. So make sure that you've done that work. Make sure that you have the clear introduction, the clear body, the clear conclusion. Make sure you have transitions which are discussed in Chapter 10. You're going to want to look at Table 10.2. So if you need to go back and review Chapter 10, go back and do that. The other thing that is vitally important to your success is meeting the State of Illinois submission requirements for an online course. I also would emphasize to go back to the syllabus and look at the video submission material. I've had some emails from some of you, and it's as if you don't believe me when I say follow the syllabus. I clearly break down in the syllabus and in the course schedule exactly what the expectations are for creating your video, submitting your video, and getting credit for your video. And so to me, it's not that complicated if you're following directions. Read. The state of Illinois clearly indicates, and I've covered this several times, that you have to have 8 people that you've gathered to watch your speech. If you've got to go find homeless people that you're going to give a Snickers bar to have an audience, then that's what you've got to do. gather coworkers, family, friends. There's really no excuse, you know. You get a lot of flexibility in an online course, but it does not mean that the online course is easier. And this is one of those criteria that the state sets forth that might prove more difficult for you. But you've just got to kind of put the effort in. You've got to find an audience. You have to have 8 or more people. If you don't have 8 or more, and I cannot verify it, it's a 0 on the speech. So this is your responsibility. You've had 5 weeks to figure it out. Get it done. You have to submit an unedited video. So when you hit record, you're recording from beginning to end. Now, again, you can record directly into the GoReact app off of your phone, or you can record your video and then you can upload it using the GoReact app. Choice is yours, but from beginning to end, it has to be unedited. The other thing that you have to do is you have to give your speech in a public place. Again, this is non-negotiable. Do not give it in a basement. Do not give it in a house, a living room, a dining room. I don't care. It has to be a public place. That's, again, a 0 if you do not do that. So a boardroom, a conference room, a movie theater, an amphitheater, an outdoor amphitheater, a library, an art gallery, a restaurant, a professional stadium. I mean, at the end of the day, the state of Illinois is dictating that this is a public speaking opportunity. You've got to be out in public in some fashion, right? And so, again, I give you a lot of leeway of what that might constitute. I'm not saying it has to be, you know, in a classroom that you figure out how to get people to a classroom of some sort. A classroom works, but it's not the only option. You have options. Take advantage of it. So, again, make sure that you are verifying, you follow the video submission criteria, recording it so that I can verify your audience. I can verify your venue. And then when you record it, make sure that you record it so that I can see what you're doing. I was watching some videos from a different class of mine, and the video was shot from so far away that if I can't evaluate your eye contact or your posture or something of that nature, then I can't give you credit for it. I mean, does that make sense? Like, I have a rubric and I'm using that rubric or this idea of being able to see the speaker for the message, and if I can't see it, I can't just willy-nilly go, oh yeah, here's the free points, right? So you've got to make sure that you are putting yourself in a position to where you can get the grade if that's what you want. One final note here, because I know that I'm at about 8.5 minutes. This class to me is really simple. You know, you have a lot of autonomy. You have a lot of flexibility. You have a couple things that might come across as difficult, like having to find a public place or having to get eight people. But at the end of the day, it's not complicated and it's pretty straightforward. And I'm not throwing a ton of deadlines at you. And I also think that one thing you should know is I really want this to be about reflection. My goal is not to be overly critical of your speeches, but to give you an opportunity to be recording these speeches and evaluating yourself so that you can tell me whether or not you feel like you're getting better or not. Giving you an opportunity to self-assess. To me, this class is all about self-assessment. How do you see yourself and what do you think you need to improve on? And chances are I'm going to concur with your assessment. So the goal here for me is to make sure that you give all of your speeches, that you get through them, that you submit them. You know, that's really important to me from a holistic overview perspective, is just do the work. just get it in. And that's the first tip and strategy for success, is to submit the stuff. Okay, I'm out of time. I got to go. You're probably sick of watching this anyway, but some important material to not forget. You've got 48 hours and counting. Get your work done. Thank you.